Guys, Matt here. This is my review of Parker. This movie is directed by Taylor Hackford, who previously directed Ray and The Devil's Advocate. And the movie stars Jason Statham and Jennifer Lopez, with Michael Chiklis and Nick Nolte. Now, if you haven't seen the trailer to this movie, the plot is Jason Statham plays Parker, a criminal who has principles, much like his other many roles, and he successfully completes a job with 4 other guys. And when he's offered to go on another job with them that pays even more, he refuses. And when he does that, they try to cut him out of the equation and they leave him for dead. And little do they realize that he's still alive, and so he plots his revenge. And then in comes a realtor, played by Jennifer Lopez, who just stumbles into the midst of everything, and together they plan to bring down his betrayers. With the exception of Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, and movies like Bank Job, Italian Job, and I guess you'd say this movie, all of Jason Statham's movies are pretty much the same type of thing, where he plays either a bad guy with principles, or he plays a good guy, maybe like a cop, who knows his job, decides not to do or go with something, gets in trouble for it, and then, because of the decision that he made trying to help this person or do this thing that he feels is right, he has to take on a whole lot more people involved, not just the main bad guys he's going up against, but he has to take on a whole bunch of people from the outside. And then he overcomes all the odds, gets banged up, and then he walks away with the girl. Now, I would like to say that this movie is just like that, and it's similar to that type of Jason Statham formula, but it's a little different, because in this movie, he gets betrayed by the bad guys. So he goes down to Florida to find them. And it's like, okay, he knows his mission, take out the bad guys, get revenge on them. But it's like, once he goes down to Florida, I just felt like the movie was missing a huge chunk of the bad guys. It didn't show them again until the end of the movie. So I kind of lost the connection that, okay, these are the guys he's going up against. They're bad guys. I hope they get what's coming to them. Yeah, he talks about them and tells Jennifer Lopez their plan, but because they weren't on screen, I kind of felt like a disconnect. Like, they went from point A all the way to point B. So I kind of felt that a huge gap in the movie lost focus a bit. But as far as the acting goes in this movie, Jason Statham's always good. He was good in this movie. I mean, to me, Jason Statham, just like Clint Eastwood with his Man with No Name type character, I just feel like Jason Statham should just play the same character in a bunch of his movies. Just play Frank from The Transporter. That's what he could have done in this movie. He really could have, but he decided to play a guy named Parker. Just play that one guy that doesn't speak a lot, that wears a suit and tie, that just can beat up 20 guys at once, but still look cool doing it. You should just play the same character. Just have a huge franchise. As far as the acting goes, Jason Statham was good. Good leading guy, you know, was tough, you know, got in a heck of a lot of fights. He gets beat up in this movie, and oh my gosh, the scene, I'm going to say is the scene with his hand, whew, but it was cool. It made him look badass. Jennifer Lopez was actually good in this movie. You know, going into it, I was like, oh, Jennifer Lopez, she's going to bring down this movie, but no, I mean, not only did she still look good, she looked like she did back in 2000, believe it or not, but her character was nice. You know, she was a naive, you know, oblivious girl that, you know, kind of stumbled into things and didn't really know what was going on, that kind of was down in her luck and all these things were going on, so she kind of feels an attraction for Parker. So I liked her character in this movie. Michael Chiklis plays the leader of the group that betrays him. I liked Michael Chiklis. I felt he was really underused in this movie because he really just came off one-dimensional. Granted, he's the bad guy, but I just wanted more from him. Then you have Wendell Pierce from The Wire as another guy that betrayed him. His job was alright. His role was small. Same thing with Clifton Collins Jr., who is looking old with his long salt and pepper hair. You know, the guy from Boondock Saints 2 and Crank 2 and a whole bunch of other things. He's a character actor. I felt his little henchmen of guys, you know, really didn't have much to do because there were 4 of them, but they were bad guys. So it's like, why are we going to put known faces in this group if they're just going to be, you know, the one-dimensional, not really going to matter once they're dead type guys? So that confused me. And then you have supporting character played by Nick Nolte, who I like Nick Nolte, but in a role like this, I felt he really wasn't needed, because he's in the movie for like maybe 10 minutes, and then for the rest of the movie you don't see him, so it's like, okay, way to not wrap up that storyline, that character storyline. So, Parker. It was a Jason Statham action movie where he gets revenge on people that betray him. That's really all you need to know. So if I'm rating 1 to a 5, because this movie was enjoyable, but I just felt, like I said, a good chunk of the bad guys were missing from the movie. From rating 1 to a 5, I'm going to give Parker a 3.5. If you like Jason Statham, then I'd check this movie out. But this movie, like his others, are not going to win any Oscars. So until next time, guys, see ya. Also, let me say that with February vastly approaching, with all the movies coming out, I'm going to try to see them and do my review on them and upload them as quickly as I can. Now, I have some things to do in February, so I'm not sure how often I'll be able to do reviews, but don't worry. If they're good movies, I'll do the reviews. So if you wouldn't mind, like, favorite, subscribe to my channel, and that would help me out a whole bunch. Alright guys, see ya.